Hi everyone. This is a quick little video on adapting the servo wheel to an LDO motor. As you can see, the output shaft is a D shaft. You can see the flat there that creates the D shape. And the servo wheels don't have any way of attaching them, so we had to come up with a way to adapt to that. So what we do is we've made these acrylic adapters. You can see they provide a D-shaped hole in the ID right there that accepts the shaft, and we press that on and we have a press fit. Now we have this. Well, that's great. There's one part of the equation. The next step is how are we going to attach the wheel to this interface right here that we created with the acrylic. So we need to put a hole pattern, and if you look on the acrylic, the hole pattern, that's called a bolt hole circle, by the way, and it's pretty simple. A bolt hole circle is a radius from the center out to each one of these holes, and each hole is equally spaced on 360 degrees. So they're all equally spaced, and that's done either on a CNC or you can calculate it out and put them in yourself, but use the CNC. So these holes within the bolt hole circle are sized to accommodate a 440 thread, which I've already done. Used the 440 tap and threaded the holes in the acrylic, so that provides us an anchoring point with the 440 screws. So you all should have been tapping by this point. And so now I need to put a hole pattern, the bolt hole circle that matches what we have in the acrylic, into our servo wheel, so that we end up with what you see right here. You can see that bolt hole circle matches the acrylic bolt hole circle. So what we have is this little drill fixture that has that hole pattern in it, and it has locating pins right here, so that when you drop your servo wheel on there, you press it right into the drill fixture, and now we can transfer that hole pattern, which are these 5 holes around that center, onto the wheel. And the way we do that is we just press the wheel, like I said, into the fixture, rotate it onto a piece of wood, and just using a hand drill, we're going to drill through each one of these holes, and that'll transfer that hole pattern onto the wheel. And I'll do it really quick, and I'm doing it on a block of wood so that I don't drill into the bench. And you can see how quick that is, and then I just push the wheel out, and now I have that hole pattern that matches this. So that's all fine and good, but I needed another interface in order to make it so that when we put the screws in, we're not forcing this acrylic piece and actually changing the concentricity of our wheel by the screws deforming the hub area of the wheel. So what we did was we came up with these aluminum pieces. Now it's important to understand that these are two individual parts. Although they look exactly the same, they're not. The ID is slightly different because the hub provided in the servo wheel right here are 2 different diameters. So we want to use the hub of the wheel to maintain our concentricity also. Otherwise, if you don't, when you're going along, your wheel's pivoting about the axle, it'll have a tendency to do this if it's not all in center. So we used what was provided us, and you can see that the hub is too large on this side, but it fits perfect on that side, and that'll hold our concentricity. So the other adapter presses onto this side, and then you just line up your holes, and you take your 440 screw and you go through right out the other side, And now we're going to screw our acrylic piece on. And I'm only going to put a couple of screws in because you get the idea of what we're doing. We don't have to waste time on that. And I screw that together using a screwdriver. And now what I've done is I've created a sandwich. These aluminum pieces I've made actually create a sandwich between the wheel, and so I tighten those up, and now essentially we have this right here. When I put all the screws in, this happens to be the clear acrylic. There's no real difference between them. It's just what we had. And then that makes it so we can press our wheel onto the output shaft of the LDO motor. And it makes it so that the wheel is going to spin concentric to the output shaft, and that'll give you great results. So that's pretty simple. Hopefully that helps you out. Everything's available to you in the shop. You don't have to fabricate these. I've made a bunch, so they're all in stock, and we've had these laser cut also, so we have a lot of these also. Another nice thing about this, actually, if you think, right, we've taken this acrylic piece and we've created that interface. Now, what says that we can't use that for some other item other than the servo wheel also, right? So be creative with that. So hopefully that